What's up, my friends? It is review time. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Tonal 2, which is the brand new upgraded version of the standard Tonal. The 2 has some pretty interesting updates that I think are worth reviewing to decide if Tonal 2 is actually worth it. Now, most of you know that I've been contracting with Tonal for years, but this is an unpaid and, as always, honest review. Now, the only benefit to me was an upgrade to my existing Tonal. I love my Tonal, and I've loved it since the first day that I got on it. And if you saw my original review, the only issue that presented was the ongoing subscription required to keep functionality. I know that Tonal puts quite a bit of money into technology, innovation, and enhancing workouts via many different instructors. I personally only use the unit standalone, and I create my own workouts. So I don't need the subscription necessarily, but I do need the functionality. However, I do know many others that rely heavily on Tonal's workout programming and classes. That being said, let's get to the review and start with what's new with the look. The design is even sleeker and more modern than the original Tonal. Now, they replaced the adjustment levers and the buttons with premium chrome accents, so it looks a lot nicer. The unit itself is more durable, and they improved the overall aesthetics with an all-black, sleek look. Now, the arms were smoother and easier to open and dock. I also didn't have to extend the arm before rotating it back into the stored position. So overall, a few small changes for a nicer look. Now to the major system updates. There are 4 major updates with Tonal 2. Number 1, increased digital weight capacity. So if you don't already know, Tonal starts you off with a series of strength assessments to get your optimal weight for every single exercise that you're going to do. So once you get through the strength assessment, Tonal remembers and automatically adjusts your weight for every single exercise. So what I found is that there's no more guesswork, and you can actually focus more of your effort into making strength gains. So if you're short on time, just like I am, every little thing makes a big difference. Up until now, Tonal's digital weight capacity was 200 pounds. Now, most people think that that's not enough weight. But I can tell you from all of the workouts that I've done on Tonal, the only exercise that I've ever maxed out is the deadlift. Tonal 2 now has the capacity for 250 pounds of digital weight. So if you're one of those fitness unicorns that have maxed out weight on every single exercise, you now have more. The first thing that I noticed when I tried my Tonal 2 was that the resistance was much smoother than my original unit. This is apparently due to a 75% stronger cable. It made less noise, and there was no drag in the cables. So now you've got more digital weight and a smoother and stronger cable. Number 2, Tonal now has the capacity to blend cardiovascular and strength work at the same exact time with all new Aero Hiit moves. Now, for those of you that don't know what Hiit means, it means high intensity interval training. What are Aero Hiit moves? Let's take a look at some that I like the most. Now, it also upgrades the original rope with a single T-hook to a new dual T-lock rope for all of these type workouts. So if you take a look at the screen, you'll see there are a number of different Aero moves that you can choose from. I typed in Aero on the search bar, and this is what it brought up. So I'm going to show you 3 of my favorites, the first one being the Aero mini pull. So if you take a look at the Aero mini pull, it's very, very similar to using a ski erg, works the same type muscles as a ski erg and gives you the same type of conditioning as well. If you take a look down here, this is where I can change the amount of time and the resistance. So I'm going to put this at a minute, and then I'm going to put the resistance, which goes from 1 to 10 up to 10. 10 being the hardest, since I only know that I'm going to be going for a minute. Now, if you remember earlier, I told you one of the new features was the dual T-hook on the rope. If you look up here, this is exactly how it attaches to the top of the unit. I really like the Smart View camera right in front of me when I'm doing all of my exercises. It helps when you can actually see what you're doing and watch your form at the same time. So the nice thing about this is that it actually counts your reps and shows you your power output throughout your entire exercise. So it's kind of nice to see those metrics right in front of you, give you a little bit of motivation while you're working out. All right, the next is the Aero Chop, and the Aero Chop is great for working your entire core, especially the love handles, which we all need. So let's get to the Aero Chop. I'm going to do the same thing, put it at a minute, put it to the highest intensity that I can go, click the button, and I'm ready to go. So all I have to do as far as changing the resistance or turning it on and off is pushing the button. So I just turned it off, and now I just turned it on. So the great thing about these high intensity interval training workouts is that we can actually target specific muscle groups that we want to work when we're doing cardiovascular work. I'm getting constant feedback, see exactly what my power output is, and I'll make sure that I get a better workout. Last one I want to show you is the Aero twist. All of these obviously are designed to really work your core and increase your heart rate and increase your metabolism at the same time. If you take a look at the screen on this one, it's showing me how much power I exert on each side with different colors. Green being one and light blue being the other. So I can tell if I'm pulling harder on one side versus the other side. So it's a great metric to actually use to maintain symmetry. And if you also take a look at the Smart View camera, you'll see that it's recording all of my motions. So if I want to take a look and see what I look like at the end of the workout or the end of the exercise, I can do that on the mobile app. Number 3, the built-in Smart View camera on the face of the unit. It analyzes 500 data points in real-time movements to give you the best coaching cues possible. So if you take a look, the beauty of that Smart View cam from the front is that it's now telling me to avoid shrugging my shoulders upwards. I had no idea that I was doing that, and that's the beauty of this Smart View cam. It'll tell you what you're doing wrong, and even the best of us sometimes don't get it right every single time. The old unit allowed you to pair your camera from the side view to help with coaching as well. This unit gives you the front view, and you still have the ability to use your camera from the side view for a complete overall look at all of your exercises in detail. And finally, number 4, the newest training mode, adaptive drop sets. Now with this feature, Tonal analyzes velocity and fatigue and will drop your weight during a set to the optimum weight to get you through the entire set. I can tell you that it is a phenomenal way to replicate something that you can do in the gym with a spotter all by yourself. So if you're looking to push through plateaus, this is a great way to maximize your muscles. Now that takes the place of a regular bench press drop set. So if you were on a regular bench on a regular rack, you would have to stop, take weight off of each side, get back down on the bench, rep out until you couldn't go anymore, take more weight off, etc., etc. The great thing about the new drop set feature on Tonal 2 is that you don't have to mess with any of that. You just stay on the bench. You saw that the weight dropped a little bit each time, and I got to 25 reps, got a solid pump. I do think it's a fantastic feature. So all in all, I really like the new upgrades to Tonal 2, and I would highly recommend it. And I say this all the time, only if you have the money. If you're not going to be able to put food on the table for your children or to pay your rent, this is probably not for you. Now remember, if you already have a Tonal, things get upgraded. Cars get upgraded, phones get upgraded, computers get upgraded. It's just part of the natural progression of making things better. Lastly, there is a 30-day home trial guarantee, so if you don't like it, they say they'll take it back with no questions asked. I hope you enjoyed this review of Tonal 2, and I look forward to seeing you all the next time. Let's go.